It is Champions League week, and as we all know, Barcelona will be going up against Borussia Dortmund. Uh, before then, Arsenal would also be going up. Let me say, Real Madrid will be going up against Arsenal. Of course, we have PSG also going up against Aston Villa. But my main focus right now is actually Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund. Uh, I mean, we all know it's going to be an important. We all know it's an important game for us. Of course, it's going to be played in two legs, first and second legs. So we have deciders to be made. But then it wouldn't be fair if we take this game really, really lightly. Look at Karim Adeyemi coming out to say they feel or they think they can actually go through Barcelona. The thing is, this is the same team that we played far back in December. That is the round 6 of the Champions League, and it ended in a 3-2 win. Raphinha scoring the first goal, and Ferran Torres coming off the bench to give us our winner. Of course, we all know Ferran Torres have been our super sub time again and again and again and again. It's not really going to be an easy game for us here. It's not going to be an easy game if you ask me, because as far back as December, these guys were not as good as they are now. If you look at the Bundesliga table, they are currently 8th on that table, and it just shows, or well, it just proves that to a point they've been struggling in that league. But still, I don't think we should actually judge them by that, because they went up against Barcelona in December, and we all experienced that they were not a easy nut to crack. They came tough, and I'm sure they are positive. Look at the statements Karim Adeyemi made. Of course, it's going to be available in the game on Wednesday. It wasn't available in the game we played against them in December. And for Borussia Dortmund, like Barcelona, we are going to be without players. We're going to be without players like Dani Olmo. We all know Olmo is currently injured, and we missed Olmo in our game against Real Betis. If we had Olmo in our game against Real Betis, it would have been a threat. We all know how Olmo, gets through in tight spaces, creating spaces where there seems to be no way. And not to mention, Borussia Dortmund themselves will be without some particular key players in the squad. Karim Adeyemi is back to the squad. He wasn't on the team when we played against them in December, and you would all agree with me when I say this particular guy is some sort of threat to us too. So his return to the team is really, really, yeah. We also have Girassi. There's Girassi who poses another threat to our squad. But it is what it is. I checked Sofa score before making this video. I think we had about 80% rating. We're favorites, and a lot of people think or they see us going through, of which, as a cooler myself, I definitely I do see us going through in this particular game. Now, like I said, Barcelona are going to be without we are going to do without a player the likes of Dani Olmo. Same goes with Borussia Dortmund. They will be without some of their key players. Borussia Dortmund will miss out on players like Pascal Gross. They will miss out on Sapitza. There's Niklas, and there's even news that Schlotterbeck is out for the season. But still, I don't think Dortmund is that team that we want to take really, really lightly. Not in any way. It's a good thing that these players are out. In their midfield seems not too solid without them, especially for Sabitzer. But whew, I really, really do think Hansi Flick should not take it slightly. So yeah, for our possible lineup, of course, we have no other person to mount our goalie. We have Szczesny. Szczesny is definitely going to be our goalie for this game. And talking about our centre back, I don't know for any other person, but I sincerely would rather we have the pairing of Kubarsi and Inigo Martinez. Inigo Martinez was not in our game against Real Betis because he had some discomfort. So I'm thinking he should have been well rested. Yes, all of our players are fatigued. We have fatigue dealing with our players, but it was obvious. We saw Lamine Yamal play against Real Betis, and he wasn't able to deliver at the rate that we all expected. But then I think instead of Araujo, I'm curious. I want to see the way Araujo is going to sneak his way through that centre back against Borussia Dortmund. But for real, yeah, I'd rather we have Kubarsi And okay, for our right back, I think obviously we all know it's not no other person than Kunde. Then for our centre backs, I would go with the pair of Inigo Martinez and Kubarsi, and of course our left back. There is no way Gerard Martin is going to bench Balde. So for our left back, we know Balde is going to be a starter. I mean, this is an important match, so there is no way we're going to be benching our best legs. Now up front, of course, our double pivot, I expect the master and the wizard, the wizard and the magician. I expect to have Frankie de Jong and also Pedri in the midfield. Then maybe Up ahead, I expect to have Gavi because I mean, look at our past few games. Gavi has delivered in some sort of ways that we haven't seen him play in that way in a while. But so far, like I said, in the past few games that he's played for us, he has really delivered. He has stepped up, and I really think if Gavi gets to play in that position, in that 10 position, I don't see anything wrong with it. Of which I think I'd rather we have Fermin in, ahead of ahead of you know ahead of Frankie de Jong and Pedri. Fermin, he played that position against Borussia Dortmund last year, and it was really solid. It was really solid. Now, talking about that, I'm going to actually miss Casado. I'm going to miss Casado because those long passes that Casado throws, I don't like what injury is doing to our team here, but like I always just say, man, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Like I said, Chesney as our goalie, Kunde as our right back, Inigo Martinez and Kubarsi as our centre backs. Balde, of course, my one and only sweetheart Balde as the left back. Then up ahead as our double pivot, I expect a Frankie de Jong and Pedri. Then in the 10th position, I expect either Gavi or Fermin. Then, of course, up ahead, I mean, we all know for our right wing, of course, Lamine Yamal. Even though, I am scared. I am scared. My mind is doing me because we all saw the way Lamine Yamal played against Real Betis. My boy is tired. He's really tired. He needs some sort of rest. He seriously needs some sort of rest. But I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. But of course, there is no other person. I don't see Fleek using any other person in that wing. So yeah, for our right wing, Lamine Yamal, and then in our left wing, of course, Mr. Clutch, our one and only Brazilian, our one and only Brazilian, Raphinha. Raphinha, after the stunt he put against after our game against Real Betis, I really hope he stays locked in this game because this is the Champions League and he's our highest goal scorer in this Champions League. He's our highest goal scorer. So I really need his head. We all know mentally Raphinha is not there, but I really need him to stay locked in. I hope Raphinha gets to put himself together and bro, Raphinha, just please, just put whatever issues, just put it aside and stay locked in this game for us. So yeah, uh, of course, up ahead is Papa Lewandowski. There is none other person than bro, Papa, Uncle, Daddy, Grandpa, Mister Lewandowski. So yeah, let's brush it up real quick. Chesney at the goal post, Kunde as our right back, Inigo Martinez and Kubarsi as our centre backs, Balde as our left back, then Pedri and Frankie de Jong up ahead, either Fermin or Gavi, then Lamine Yamal and Raphinha. Then again we have Papa Lewandowski. With this formation, I mean, since like 2019, this is the first time I'm very positive about my team, winning the Champions League. And I think so far, this team hasn't done anything to disappoint me. They've been putting good results back to back to back to back. It has been really impressive. So yeah, I'd like to think that with this squad, I think we have enough. But of course, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm hoping that Anti Flick is going to do some magical things in this game, do some sort of, maybe bring fresh legs in. Of course, there is no way Ferran Torres. I do not expect Ferran Torres to start ahead of Lewandowski in this game. Ferran Torres in our last game against Borussia Dortmund, he came on and as a super sub, he has always been a super sub over time. So I expect him to come off the bench again this time to, do whatever thing he wants to do. But of course, I don't know why people are scared, but me, I would love it if Borussia Dortmund gives us an early goal. I think Barcelona is that team that when you get an early goal against them, it tends to boost their morale into going, into going harder than they're already doing. But then if Barcelona gets an early goal, it just simply means that Borussia Dortmund, Emma Dell, because we're going to keep scoring and scoring and scoring and scoring and scoring and scoring. But yeah, I really, really hope Hansi Flick gets is. I mean, he has always done it. He has always done it. He has always done it. But with the fatigue on our team, I really hope he's able to put the boys together. And I really hope, I sincerely hope that those boys are, yeah, they would have been able to rest well ahead of the game. I mean, with this, I'm envisaging or I'm predicting a 3-1 win. A 3-1 win. And I've gone for a 4-1 or a 5-1 win, but I'm being minimal because of the fatigue that our boys are suffering right now. So yeah, I'll settle for a 3-1 win. God willing. God willing. Yeah, let me settle for a 3-1 win in this game. And that way we go to the second leg and then we finish our assignment. But yeah, like I said, since 2019, this is like the first time I'm really, really positive about my team winning the Champions League. And believe I believe they will deliver. But of course, that is just my own prediction, and that is just my thoughts. That is just how I feel, prior to the game. Let me know your thought about, let me know your predictions about this game in the comment section. Let me know your starting 11. Let me know what you think our lineup should be. Let me know who you think should be. Let me know if you think we should have Araujo instead of Inigo, or you think Inigo and Kubarsi instead of the pair of Araujo and Kubarsi. Let me know if you would rather we use Gavi or you'd rather we use Fermi in that position. And of course, if you would also like for Ferran Torres to start ahead of Lewandowski, but we all agree now, we've all agreed that Ferran Torres is not a starter for Barcelona. All right, so yeah, I'm sure we all want to stick to Lewandowski ahead of Ferran Torres. But still, I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to know your take, and I'd love to know what your predictions are. I'd love to know what you think Hansi Flick should do. I'd love to know what you think you would do if you were in Hansi Flick's position. With the fatigue the boys are currently suffering, let me know all of that, and please drop it in the comment section. Like I said, Real Madrid will be going up against Arsenal, and PSG against Aston Villa, and Barcelona would also be going up against Borussia Dortmund. But we all know that we are favorites to win. I mean, where do you want me to pick it up from? I'll see you guys again very, 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 very soon. But until then, Visca Barça, Visca El Catalunya. Oh, and please don't you forget to like, share, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name still remains Adejoke Adebisi. Bye.